all-star fray. 12 dreams clash. It's the league showcase. Glory's chase. Feel the ground shake. You stand tall. Never fear the climb. All for one. And it's game time. In the stands. Hear the roaring crowds. Wearing colors. We're standing proud. 12 teams fight under the spotlight's rays. Glory's night in the all-star blaze. Sweat and toil on this hallowed turf. One will rise. Hallowed turf, one will rise.
Good evening to everybody who is tuned in for this absolutely piece de la resistance of the All-Star Atlantic League. We have had 32 game weeks, which equates to around about 500 and odd games, including the playoffs, probably touching about 550. And it all comes down to this, which is the playoff grand final, which we'll see in around about 15-20 minutes time. The dominant Bisons against the mercurial Iowa Steam Pigs. Free scoring Steam Pigs, definitely one of the most entertaining teams in the league this season, but not quite asserted themselves as in the way of the Bisons have. And then following that, we'll have a couple of little clicky bits to do to progress the save, and we will go on to the curtain closer, which is the MLS FA Cup final between the Dandies and the Drivetrain. But the main event, being no doubt about it, the main event is the Bisons against the Steam Pigs grand final. And without further ado, I'll introduce you to our runners and riders for this evening, at least for the first fixture anyway. First of all, to reigning league champion and looking to do the double by winning the playoffs tonight is Mr. Tato Mourinho. Tato, how you doing, mate?
Well, very good, thank you, mate. Yeah, really good. Buzzing for it now.
How's the nerves?
Do you know what? Just getting nervous now. Not been nervous all day, but just getting nervous now. I can see the graphics and the tune and the comms. Yeah.
The build up, yeah. Couple of shout outs in the chat just before we introduce your rival tonight. We got Mega Horse in there, obviously Tato's in there, we got Steve in there, and I can see a couple of little people floating around as well. If everybody could just let me know, with it being the final and the main event, that's kind of sounds working all right, and kind of streaming, everything's all right, because there's a couple of little bits of additional graphic stuff going on tonight, so we don't want to interfere with it too much. Chairman number 2, who's Kitchen Dan, will be joining us imminently. He's just wrestling with the bedtime. And on that note, I'll introduce everybody to your opponent this evening, which is the free scoring and ever entertaining Steve Wright. How you doing, Steve, mate?
Well, I don't know.
How you doing, bud? You all right?
Should do it. It's good. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, really looking forward to this.
Good, clean shaven for the final tonight. Is that Steve?
Oh, yeah. I messed up. I normally do like a fresh right under my chin and just trim rest. Messed up. I sneezed and it took a bit, so I rested it. Had to come off.
He sneezed mid-shave.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
I hate being clean shaven. I absolutely hate it. But
yeah. How are you feeling about this evening's fixture, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing what's been probably the best side throughout the league. I think done well to get where we are. To be fair, so a defeat certainly won't be unexpected. But I've done this in other leagues before, where I've gone up against best team and done all right in a final. So we'll. I'm not expecting too much. Anything better than that's a bonus. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you've got at least 3, if not 4, of the top individual players this season, and I think if any 2 of those really turn up tonight, then Tato could be slightly worried. But we'll kind of progress on to our end of the season awards, which lads, both of you has contributed to, so cheers for that. And the first award we've got, Evening Savage, how you doing, my man? The first award we've got is the Rookie of the Year. Steve, who did you go for in this?
Yeah, you didn't say nothing about not putting his own players in that one.
Right, okay.
And I did go for one of my own players, and I've never seen in competitive champ Elbert have a season like he's had this year. Yeah,
it's a fair point. Tato, who'd you go for?
Elbert, I think, yeah, because I followed the rules and didn't vote for my
own. So Rookie of the Year, pretty overwhelmingly, was Pierre. Which I think, even though he's 31, he kind of really clearly defines what we were looking for with this award, which was, somebody who previously hadn't put themselves into the champ bracket, and with 10 goals and 2 assists and 1 man of the match performance. Average rating of a 7, but that probably doesn't tell the full story because most of the time he was coming on with 30 minutes to play. So Tato is your boy. How do you feel about him winning Rookie of the Year there?
Yeah, I'm sort of surprised because of how Elbert played, and personally, I think Pierre's had a pretty bad season. Or certainly the last 10 or 15 games, he's been really bad. But I get that out of the type of award, Rookie of the Year, he's a brand new name. People have never heard of him, but he's got all that. He's like a Festini type. So buzzing with that, kid.
Yeah, Steve, any comments to add there to Pierre's first ever Rookie of the Year?
No, I mean, the good thing is I like that me and Tato were on the same sort of thought process with who we thought it might be. Because, like I say, the only one were about your own players were the one above. But yeah, I think genuinely in terms of somebody we hadn't seen in competitive champ before, getting a proper run at it, albeit half and half being starts and sub appearances. Certainly no arguments there for me.
Yeah, and I think Megahorse kind of sums it up really, which I think most people wanted to recognise the impact that Elbert had, which will come in just a couple of slides' time probably. But actually, Elbert, for all he hadn't hit the heights, he certainly wasn't viewed by most people as a rookie. So that brings us on to the Player of the Year. So just for anybody who didn't vote or for anybody who isn't aware, the Player of the Year was on a 5.3.1 point system. So managers had 3 votes if they wanted to use them. Their first pick got 5 points, their second pick got 3 points, and their third pick got 1 point. And the overall kind of player that was scored would come away with it. So we're going to start with third place, and that is the player that we've just mentioned ever so briefly, and that is Elbert, who came out in third for the ASAL Ballon d'Or with 22 goals and 34 appearances, 3 assists and 3 man of the match appearances. I can tell you that Elbert got 9 points in total. As a combination from the managers that completed it. So obviously the next 2 players are going to have above 9 points. Steve, we'll go to you this time. This is your boy. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I would just genuinely wasn't expecting him to be as good as he has been. We haven't seen it in competitive champ before. His stats look a little bit better than probably seeing in other leagues as well. But yeah, chuffed for that. I think he's had a cracking season, and just be interested to see if he can back it up next time. Yeah,
Tato, anything to add there, mate?
Yeah, he's class. It's a strange one, really, that he's done that. Like Steve said, I didn't expect him. He looks just absolutely rank average, really, stats wise. You get 400 players like that in the game, but it's been his year. I think I only voted once. I didn't realise it was a three.
Yeah, you
three
did.
votes.
You did. You did.
Sorry, I didn't read that.
Into second place. What I like about this is that, rightfully so, that the players that have kind of risen to the top here are the two finalist teams, which I think is really good in terms of, you know, giving people the rule that they couldn't vote for their own players. Second place is probably no surprise to the majority of people, is Ryan Giggs, with 16 assists and 8 man of the match appearances, 3 goals in 36 appearances, 7.89 rating. Giggs did just pip Albert to that second place, that silver medal, with 10 points overall from all managers that voted. So Tato, we'll do a little bit of tennis here. We'll come back to you. Thoughts on Ryan getting the silver medal?
I thought he'd get first, to be honest. There's have to be some player to come top after beating him. He's been class. You put him at ML and he'll do that every single time, won't he? He's brilliant. Love him. Most deadly player in the save for me.
Yeah, definitely. Something's going to happen when his name comes up in the text, and I think it'll probably be the player that Steve is most worried about tonight, I would imagine. Steve, you come up against Ryan Giggs tonight. Any comments?
Yeah, I voted for him as my player of the year. 16 assists in competitive camp is phenomenal, basically. It genuinely, and yeah, he, like you just said, you see his name hanging about, and we're likely to concede.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only one guy, Duggan, that can beat him. Only one guy that should be beating him, and I think he's coming up directly against him tonight on that side.
He is indeed, on that note, and with 13 points from all managers, it is a Steam Pig who comes out on top of the first ever All-Star Atlantic League Ballon d'Or, and it is Cosmin Contra. Now, I think what is really interesting about this, and I'll come to you in just a moment, is, you know, average rating of 8.03, which is absolutely solid and well above what you'd kind of take as an average rating. Assist 13, man of the match is 2. But there's a feel around Contra, I think, that he has probably single-handedly pulled you into games that you were either behind in or got you over the line in games where you were maybe struggling for a little bit of creativity.
Yeah, and if I'm honest, I feel like I can't remember fully the deal. I think I got him really cheap off Scott after the draft. I genuinely feel like I got him really cheap, and I just can't remember off the top of my head what it was. But yeah, it's again, it's like Tato said there about Elbert. You know, you got 1,000,001 players that look like that. There's far more DMRs, DRs, MRs that look far better than that. For him to only be, I didn't realise he were only 3 behind Giggs. I had him on about 10 or 11 as well. It's been a great season for him, and I think the thing what I'm more happy about is it's the formation I'm playing as opposed to what everybody else is. It's suiting him. It's suiting his game, and hopefully he can try, and if he gets an assist tonight, we'll be well on his way to try to get a result.
Absolutely. Tato, you said there's only one boy that you thought was going to be ahead of Giggs, and it was him. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, if you look at his direct numbers and how they performed, I think Giggs probably has outperformed him. But the point is that there's nobody decent on the right-hand side. There tends to be nobody that good on the right-hand side who can compete with the likes of Giggs and Zeraberto. The fact that Contra has pretty much matched him assist-wise, I think, you know, counting how many games they've played, just shows you what a brilliant season he's had on that very difficult right-hand side.
Yeah, I think if you showed those numbers to somebody and said, you know, it's a DMR, who do you think it is? I think people would say Cafe was an Etty. I don't think anyone would mention Contra off the top of their head without having seen the season by any stretch of the imagination. That brings us to our last award of the evening before we get into the actual final itself, and that is the Manager of the Year. Now, this was a surprise in the sense that it's the first time I've ever done this, whether it's the Super League or whatever, where it's an absolute dead heat. And those were 2 managers who came bang on level points with each other, bang on level on nominations. Bearing in mind, all managers had 1 nomination, and it was a little bit chalk and cheese in the sense that, you know, Tato, you've done phenomenal to be the kind of force that you've been this season. Absolutely deserve all the plaudits in the world. but there was kind of, you know, the nominations were just edged a little bit with an air of predictability in terms of formation, players, tactics, that sort of stuff. And in complete contrast, you had kind of Savage's nomination, which was very much about, you know, playing 3 up top with 2 backward arrows and 4 across the middle, and, you know, was really, we would have all had it down to get an absolute arse kicking at the start of the season, and I think many of us did. And in fact, it's been absolutely the opposite. So, Steve, I'll come to you first, and then we'll almost hand over to Tato to give his thoughts and as a little bit of a pre-final victory speech.
Yeah, my vote was Savage. Down for them very reasons. He had a couple of difficult results early on, changed it up, went to a 3 up top, and played. I think I put in my comments, it's very open formation for all intents and purposes. And I think from his first sort of venture into competitive champ and getting involved with everybody to where he was, to him coming more solid and very good in other leagues, and then he had a bit of an idea, probably tried going a little bit more rogue than did in the other one, and it just proved massively great for him. And he just is up there, and to continually play with a formation. And I think this is what I said about it, where, you know, people are saying no, we don't really like that, but just to stick with it all the time, having faith in his players, and some of them, and it's more the players as well that are in that side, as opposed to what are in my side, Tato's side, or what have you. Them players still doing it for him and getting massive results. I take me off my side to him.
Yeah, I think Steve kind of sums up, you know, the kind of the two sides of the coin there, really. Tato, obviously deservedly so. You were also equally nominated. Any kind of thoughts on coming out on top in terms of the manager of the year?
I'm happy with it. I think I love hearing people crying about my formation and my players. I really, it fills me with joy on the inside, if I'm being honest. More of that, please. I think we've been the best team, I think, to be fair. So it's natural that you look at the manager, whatever. But I think Savage was under a little bit of pressure, more pressure than probably people think, because we all did some test saves at the start of the season. The Drivetrain never conceded. They were always really, really good. They qualified every single time, top of the thing. So he was under a bit of pressure at the start of the season, if you remember. So he's done very well to turn that around with that interesting formation. And he's been really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really good point. He had a kind of a big wobble, didn't he, where kind of things really didn't click for him for a good 5 or 6 games. And it was very much, you know, he was really struggling to kind of get to the bottom of what was going on. And then that's when that big change to the formation came, and hasn't really looked back. Just a quick little point on the player of the year, just to kind of let you guys know who got honourable mentions. Salas, Henry, and Ronaldinho were in there with kind of 3 to 5 points, and then a load of players, as you'd expect, with kind of 1 to 3 points in Dyer, Yeremis, Tomati back, Lizarazu, Joey Cole. There was there was about another 6 or 7 players that were the kind of at the bottom of the pack there. But yeah, first ever player of the year is Cosmin Contra, followed by Ryan Giggs, and then Elber in third, which brings us nicely to the main event, which after 32 game weeks and near enough 500 clicks of champ, with a lot of those going to extra time and golden goals, brings us to this, which is the MLS Cup final. So just so that everybody's aware, it does go to a straight shootout, 35-yard shootout. No, Lizarazu played a hell of a lot of games, Dan, and was unbelievable for me. Where is he at?
DML. Above Clumper.
Where's he at?
Up left.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. He was very, very good. 7.72, played 25. Brings us to...
Just while you're clicking on, Doug, and you're talking about it, can you just go on like player stats and stuff for the league? Because if you don't have the save, then I can think about
where we at?
No, at the bottom, player stats. No, not for me. No, just player stats on the whole league.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
I very rarely see it.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point, actually. So Tomati was in there. Tomati was nominated. Zielius didn't get any shouts, but definitely all of these guys did. Shevchenko did. Sol Campbell did. George Atos did. So more or less the kind of the 10 players that were really nominated, even down to 13, 14, we're all in the mix there, really. In terms of goals, Elbeck gets the golden boot. Shevchenko not far behind. Shevchenko went a little bit quiet after that injury, but then kind of came back to life. in terms of assists, as you'd expect, Ryan Giggs is up there, and so is Contra with 13. Matavikia, I thought he would get some shouts for Rookie of the Year, to be honest, because I think he's been brilliant on that right-hand side for Drivetrain, but he didn't get any.
I reckon if we'd have clicked on this more, and that's not criticism, if people would have clicked on this more, I think he would have got tons more. I don't think we've watched him very much.
Yeah. I mean, more or less in line with what the league would be telling you. But it's a really, really good point. Straight to 35-yard shootouts. Not to worry us too much there, boys. If the scores are level, and this is how the league champions, looking to be playoff champions, go tonight. It is just the one change with Sol Campbell returning at just the right time for Yusuf Algarin. The rest is as is, with Mendieta taking the armband. Tato, just talk us through this side and kind of where you think, where the rationale is behind this 11.
Very, 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 very boring and predictable, as people like to moan about. I'm not a massive fan of Marino normally, but he's been really good this season. I've never had him. He's getting sold in the summer, but he's been really good. But I think anyone can be good next to Campbell. Those three DMs class. I'm surprised at how good Tomasi and Ndai have been, and Mendieta next to each other, because normally one cancels each other out and they don't balance up, but they're all on very high ratings. Giggs has been class. Beckham has got many assists. He doesn't feel like he's playing that well, but his set pieces and his chips in with the assists. Robin's been absolutely brilliant in AMC. I don't know why he's been so good at that position at such a young age, but I'm enjoying it. Rossini class, Raul has been pretty poor, but I feel like it gives a good balance to the team when he's in. So he's just starting to hit form, Raul. So we'll see.
Interestingly, Rossini didn't get any shouts for any of the awards, and I think he's been a player that has pulled you back into games and won you games when you've really looked absolutely up against it.
Yeah, he loves a last minute goal, doesn't he? He's done it a few times, but yeah, good luck, Steve.
And over to your opponents tonight, the Iowa Steam Pigs, who, as we mentioned, scored 61 goals across 32 games, which is by 4 via the Bisons, and then actually head and shoulders above the rest of the league by a country mile. Definitely one of, if not the most entertaining side in the league this season. Ado and Terry start at the back with Michielini coming into DMC. Obviously, they've spotted Samuel has played his last game in a Steam Pig shirt and has to watch the playoff final from the bench. Totti into AMC. He's played at MC over the last kind of few game weeks, really, and had a little brief stint up top. But this is maybe out of respect for that Bison's midfield. Steve, any thoughts there, mate?
Yeah, I mean, again, I know it's not happened in other leagues as well. I know we talk about other leagues, but when you talk about players, you're talking about players playing against each other. I think Van Bommel's had a fantastic season. Sat there again. And I brought him in. He's one of them. I don't really like him at game, but when you see him in competitive champ, if you just let him sit there, he make things happen. Michelini's come in because when he's played, he's been phenomenal. Zanoni played there, had a couple of good games there, and he played a 5 or a 6 or where everyone has come in, and Michelini come with an 8 and 9 in his last 2 games. And then my big choice were whether I'm going to play Ado or Wes Brown. I'll be honest with you, I think I played this game through 7 times, and on the save, and there were 6 of the games were 2-1 wins either way, and that one 35-yard. I started recording it long after it started because it just got boring watching it. So, like I say, not expecting too much. I think we have got something about us to get a goal. It's just have we got enough with Ado there over Wes Brown. We know Walter Samuel to keep him out, but wish Mr. Mourinho the best of luck, and we roll.
Hope you lose, Steve, mate. Hope you lose.
Thank you,
gents. I wish you the very, very best of luck. 32 game weeks and then a mad playoff set off. You both deserve your spot here, and I just hope the game doesn't fuck any of you over with any dodginess. So yeah, best of luck to both in the inaugural All-Star Atlantic League Grand Final, as Steam Pigs look to have most of the ball, but Domingo's certainly dominating the text. Raul there, Rossini with a header early doors and puts it over the bar. Raul with a dipping shot now. Bison's just starting to exert some pressure here, and it is Rossini, that man who didn't get into any of the awards, and then a man who did get into the awards has gave Steve just a glimmer of hope out of the blue. Tato, over to you, mate. What are you going to do here?
Put Robin at left wing, please. Move Royal central and give him a Diagara.
Steve, is it too early to be jumping on that, or are you going to make any moves?
No, massively too early, mate. Massively too early.
Okay, it is too early, and we are on 23 minutes played. Rossini nearly put it. This looks all Bisons. Rossini with a diving header. Steam Pigs really struggling to get any grip of the game here. Let's see what he was. He just kicked out to Michelini for no reason. Straight red. Who's the ref? Frank Gorog, sounding like a Lord of the Rings character. Sends him straight off. We'll go over to the Steam Pigs first, as they're behind Eric Addo in that centre-half position. Steve did say he kind of had a decision to make there in centre-half.
What's the match stats like, Doug? Just quickly have a look at him at the top, mate.
Apologies. Yeah, not a glove on her. Not a glove on the beautiful Steam Pigs, who really haven't done anything tonight so far, but there is time yet. We know this. We just need to get an equaliser, Steve, and then we're into 35-yarders.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be round for Addo, mate. The thing is, like I said, there were 6-2-1 wins, 3 for us, 3 for them when I run it through. 135-yarder. Every time we won, Eric Addo played at centre half, and then he's just over Brown.
As is for me, please.
It's an as is for Tato. We will slow it down now from half time, lads. We'll just see if anything more can be made of this.
Mike said massive crowd. Yeah, that's a huge crowd.
103,956. Paglutia, who also got some nominations for Player of the Year, given how good he's been. 57 minutes, 59 minutes. We stopped straight on 60. We know what Steve Wright's theory is about 60 minutes. But here comes in Dai, and Michelini gives a tactical free kick away. Totti on a 5.
Man.
The big boys have just not turned up so far, Steve. And I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds to decide what you want to do there, and I'll come back to you, so you don't have to make any rash decisions. Over at the Bisons, who are holding their own and then some. Steam Pigs, again, have struggled to really lay anything on them. Not that Tate will be interested because it's a myth, but there is condition stats. And Tate, are you going to do anything there, Milan?
No, keep it as is for me, please.
I think there'll be people sitting there thinking that is exactly the right decision. Steve, who's going to get you into this game, mate?
Got to be Larson for Totti. Put Totti up central at 3. Larson central at 3, sorry.
Larson for Totti?
Larson for Totti. Put Larson central at 3. And two little arrows. Oh, yeah, that's the one, mate. Please.
Is that it, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, I've not done this season either, so big risk.
It is no longer in their hands. Those are the last changes that either manager will make as Beckham takes the free kick. Robin now. Contra needs to get in there. Emerson. Ndai brings down Elbert. And Ndai goes into the book now. 65 minutes on the clock. Mendieta. Terry intercepts it. Feeds it forward. Ndai. Beckham. It is all Bison still. We bigged the Steam Pigs up before kick-off, the amount of goals they've scored, but they've really offered very little going forward. Van Bommel, Emerson, and it's an equaliser. It is Emerson from MC. The Steam Pigs draw level. That forward arrow, and now is the momentum with the orange and the silver. Beckham, Rossini, Beckham again. Michelini's having a blind up, but he's on a booking. Whereas Brown gets it clear. 79 minutes. Are we going to go to a 35-yard penalty shootout in the first ever All-Stars final? 81 minutes. Rossini, he clears it over the bar. If only he could have finished it. 85 minutes played. Robin now. Bison's really trying to go for this. Shevchenko, Campbell, Van Bommel, and the keeper makes a great save. Mendieta Diaz delays it playing it long. They've won it back now. Steam Pigs seem to be getting in front of everything. Contra caught offside. 89 minutes played. 3 minutes on. We are going to a 35-yard penalty shootout in the first ever All-Star Atlantic League final. If this isn't what the league was set up for, then I don't know what is.
Just let it roll.
Let me know.
They're all taking one anyway. They're all taking one anyway, mate. Let's just let it roll.
Take Paluca. I'd swap Paluca with Rossini, and then the rest I don't give a shit. This is ridiculous. What an awful way to end after a brilliant season. Steve, well done, mate. There's nothing we can do.
You too, mate.
You are in the lap. You are in the lap of the gods now, boys. Yeah.
Can you take
I
off
wish I could bring Diana Ross then.
I can't see the.
Say that again. Oh yeah. That's a really good shout. Yeah.
There's no.
There we go. Good shout. All right then. So here we are.
I'll say that. Bring on the wheel. I'd rather do wheel. In fairness.
Here we go. Lawson sets off with the ball, continues into the box, continues with a fierce shot, and Pagliuca saves it. Mendieta can't keep it down. Terry puts it wide. Beckham steps up.
He's running
into the penalty area. He has a goal, and Frey with a big save. Shevchenko pulls it over. Salt Campbell with a pile driver. Emerson puts it well over the bar. Robin sends it wide. George Atos, we are now into sudden death.
Go on.
Rossini.
Why are you doing it from there?
We are now into sudden death. Contra. Well wide. Mourinho. Banana shot. Elber blazes it over. Raul now.
Please run.
Continues with his run. Cracks a low driver goal. It is a goal for St. Domingos. Yes. And St. Domingos Bisons are the All-Star Atlantic League playoff champions with a Raul goal at the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh attempt, the 14th penalty taken, and the St. Domingos Bisons win the first ever All-Star Atlantic League playoff final, with George Atos not having enough to win his team the match, despite being man of the match. Over at the Bisons, really solid performance with 10 men. And credit to you, Tato. Congratulations. Your Steam Pigs just didn't offer what they've offered all season, really, which is frustrating, mate.
No, definitely, mate. Massively didn't deserve to really go to that shootout. So the one time it went to shoot out in my little testing, it were obviously a 54th penalty or whatever it was scored, but I think it was Charlotte scored it. But no, well done, Tato, mate, and we go again next season.
Get it.
Tato, over to you, mate. Congratulations. That's a league and playoff double. Some feat there, mate. What's your immediate reaction?
I'm absolutely buzzing. I mean, that is a horrendous way to lose. That makes no sense whatsoever. But I guess looking on the stats and the way the game went, if, I don't know, deserved is a stupid word, but if one team sort of played the better on the day, then it probably wasn't me. So I'm thankful I didn't lose after that. But well done, Steve.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the text kind of said, the text kind of said you deserved it, absolutely. And Dimble has hit the nail on the head that when we set this up and when we started to look at the mad rules that were possible, a 35-yard penalty shootout in the final was the drama we all dreamed of. Absolutely. Are you not entertained? All 6 of us. Okay, so gents, I know it's a big ask to ask you to kind of hang on. You're welcome to hang on. I think Savage is going to join us imminently for what is the All-Stars Cup final on the 20th, which is in 4 days' time. And that is a really horrendous pack to get 4 days before the final. Both DMCs are out, but we will progress the slave nonetheless and hope that Savage...
At least Keane and Samuel are getting their suspensions out of the way before next season, mate. I'm going to have to bow off because my lad's not too well. So,
okay, mate.
Well done, mate. Duggan, you and Dan, obviously, absolutely massive this season, what you've done running it all. Appreciate it from both of you lads. And I've still got it on my phone anyway, so I'm still in the chat, and love to all.
Cheers, Steve.
Appreciate it, mate. And unlucky, Steve. Unlucky, mate. Next time, mate, we go again.
Nah, not
yeah, definitely not next time, please. I'd rather lose 5-0 than that.
Yeah,
I'd rather lose 6-1 than that.
6-1. Chiotis number 2. Let me just add the game back in because it doesn't like when I save the game.
Already looking forward to next season now, Doug. You know, I'm already looking forward to the transfers, mate.
Yeah, give us just a little rundown of your give us a little run.
So, looking at the starting team there that I've just had, if people can remember 3 minutes ago, Mourinho is going out and Thuram is coming in. So it'll be Mourinho out, Thuram in, Mendieta out, Zay Elias in, and Raul out and Elka in. So the 3 weakest areas on our team, I think, and I know Mendieta's not weak, obviously, but Elias has been quality, so yeah, he's coming in. Looking forward to it. I can't hear you now. I don't know if it's just me talking to myself about my transfers.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it's because I added Savage in, and Savage is muted himself. So, Sav, if you can hear us, mate, if you can... Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Sav, can you hear me?
good,
There
yeah.
we go. There
Well
we go.
done,
Dulcet.
Well done.
Thank
Did
you
you
very
get
much.
that, Spud?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just about. Yeah, thank you, Sam, mate. Appreciate that.
Savage, you may well have seen that I am without Jeremy's Keane and Impenza for this. So the pack gods are being a little bit unkind to us both, but you are also without Alessandro Nesta, mate.
Yeah, no bother. Just put Juliano in.
Duggan, do you want me commentating on the game or not?
Yeah, you can do, mate. That would be great. Yeah. That would be grand. Savage, you've still got Schmeichel in goal because Bartes was injured.
Yeah, put Bartes back
before
in.
I hit continue there.
Yeah.
Boya.
Put him back on sub bench though, Schmeichel, for I'll be at it. It'll be his last appearance in the All Stars League. I think he retires at the end of this year.
Nice. Boya to come in. That's how you're looking as it stands.
What's Carboni been doing? Has he been playing well? No.
He's only played one game. It was pretty distinctly average, wasn't it? Yeah, if you put Boyer in for Carboni, who forgot? And put Carboni on the bench instead of Fiore.
Happy with that, mate?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Edmundo in there, yeah. Nice.
And we will hand over to Mr. Tato Mourinho to give us some colour co-op, some guest comms as we're underway.
You relax. Here we go. Dandies versus Drivetrain. It's a very fast start from the Drivetrain. Del Vecchio looking pretty dangerous. He's had 2 attempts already so far. And he's looking like a third one. That's Edmundo with a shot. It's been all Drivetrain, the form team, you would probably say. And again, Edmundo thought he was going to give a penalty there. It's been all Drivetrain. Look at Dandies have had a sniff. Another attempt from Drivetrain, Madovicia, Scholes, and Henri, who had deserved half-time lead. I think those match stats will be heavily weighted.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
Over to you, boys.
Yeah, it is almost like the Dandies haven't got the spine of their team in there. Savage looked a really, really strong first half performance there, mate. 7s and 8s there from goal from Thierry Henry on the 8 and no assists. So it must have been a little bit of a solo effort. Let me know if you want to pull the trigger on anything there, mate. But I think you'd be batshit crazy to do so.
Yeah,
and
just leave it as is on mine till 60.
Lovely. And the Dandies are just a little bit hit and miss there with really not offering anything going forward. So we'll do a bit of that and a bit of that.
Still in the game, though, Doug, mate. It's 1-0 down, but the good point is you're still in it, aren't you? And it's...
Yeah.
Is this straight
we'll
to
just
penalties
try
as well, Doug, man?
Yes, it is. Yeah, okay. We'll try and get a little bit of control there, I think, in the middle of the park.
The 60, yeah.
What about you, Tato?
Second half kicking off. Hopefully, Dandies changes, solidify them a bit and get them on the ball a little bit more. But starting off Drivetrain again. All Drivetrain for the first 10 minutes. Can Dandies get an attack going? They have. They've got one attack going. And it's straight back down the other end to the Drivetrain. And they're looking like... And there's the 60th
game over.
Click. It's a 60th minute click. It's killed you. For God's sake. Oh, there's it. I love that. Yeah, nice. I mean, yeah, it's a much better second half performance from Dandies, but that second goal's a killer, an absolute killer.
Only in the world of the All Stars would you have Steve Finnan for
underperforming Cafu.
For Cafu.
If it was me, I would be bringing Tony on, but I really don't know where you'd play him, and I'm just sort of talking out loud.
Over at the Drivetrain, they are 2-0 up and looking well in control. Condition-wise, nothing to worry about there. Edmundo on 80%. Your lowest Savage, but match ratings look brilliant outside of that.
Yeah, just leave it as it is.
Just leave it as it is.
Chaos, aren't they? That front three, they're causing complete chaos.
Yeah, a little backward arrow magic, voodoo magic. There is 3. And Madovicia, who's been brilliant for Savage all season. And there is 4. Dandies will have conceded 10.
It's chaotic. Yeah, it's chaotic.
He probably will, won't he? He probably will.
On a 4, yeah. You must be quite
He's got to have at least a 4, if not a 3. There we go.
Very
Congratulations, Savage. First ever winner. First ever winner of the All-Stars Cup. And absolutely dominant, mate. How does it feel?
Yeah, cracking. I think it's felt like it's gone pretty well this year with the team I had. Are a bit disappointed not to get through to the playoff final, but so it's a nice it's a nice little silver lining to it for the end of the season. Just a bit of a shame it were as one-sided as it was, to be honest.
I think Sam, you built some real momentum over the last 10, 20 games or so, haven't you? And this just sort of puts you right up there now with the contenders to win the whole thing, I think, next year.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And I think the exciting thing for all sides is just how different some of these 11s are going to look like. Congratulations, Savage. That brings us to what is the conclusion of the season. So just so everybody's aware, I think what the plan is that over the next kind of, it's done that thing again where it doesn't like it when it doesn't save the game. There we go. So over the next couple of days, probably the next kind of 5 days or so until Wednesday, 3 days rather, we're going to look to confirm all transfers. Those will then be processed over the course of the week. And ideally, we'd be looking at a kick-off of the new season a fortnight from tonight, which would be Sunday the 11th. Now, I'll be abroad, so it will probably be Kitchen Dan raising the curtain on the season, and then we'll be continuing with our usual slots of Wednesdays, Sundays. Delighted that there's 2 champions to close us out. So, Savage, we'll come to you first for closing comments, mate, before Tato can close the season.
I think great season. Very everybody's done well. The league's run well. The streams have been great. I think this format with just folk on voice without the people's faces plastered all over it's been brilliant. It's all just gone exceptionally well, and looking forward to the next season.
And most importantly, what we thought was a bit of a batshit build has held up really stable. There's been no game bug errors. There's been no issues, no dodgy saves. Very few ghost games, I think. Excellent. Thank you, Sav, mate. Well done in the cup final. Great season from the Drivetrain. Really innovative, and congratulations on your co-manager of the year award. Tato, that brings us to yourself, mate. League and playoff champion. You can close out the season for us, bud.
That sounds nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Big thank you to the guys running it, and that's everybody. But even when people are on the streams and having to do comms on their own, it's probably difficult for the clicker to do the comms on their own. But people appreciate it. People are watching. We might not watch live, but we'll come back and we'll watch it afterwards. And I just really appreciate the people doing it. And it's been fun. It felt like a bit of fun. It felt like the fun is. It's a really fun league and enjoyable to be part of, and a nice group of lads. So hopefully we've all enjoyed it, which was the whole point of setting it up, to just enjoy ourselves again and mess about with some mates.
Yeah, I think after a bit of a rough patch for the Super League, it definitely brought the fun back for a lot of us. So on that note, the All-Stars will continue to bring the fun, even if it's on the back of a 4-0 defeat in a cup final. Until next season, in a fortnight's time, we'll see you soon from the league and playoff champ, and from the MLS FA Cup champ, and from Chairman Doug. We'll see you next season, boys.
Come on, see you later.